You've had, like, you already lost Azubuike to a season-ending injury. You lost Embiid during his 1 year at Kansas. Like, what's that conversation like with a player, coach, when like you're just as devastated for the kid as he is personally? How do you handle that?
Well, I think each situation is different. You got to be very, obviously caring, because that's the fact. But you also got to let them know that this isn't the end of the earth. This isn't the worst thing that's ever going to happen to you. And you somehow or another you gotta spin this into a positive over time. And it stinks. It sucks. But the reality of it is that you see it as being your whole future right now, because you're young, and the older you get, you see that these 6 months or whatever are just a blip on the radar. So let's somehow go ahead and be down or whatever, but after a period of time, let's figure out a way to get back and spin this into a positive.
All right, let's get to your team. What was your feeling? I mean, obviously, it feels anytime you get a road win in your league, especially in Hilton, tough place to play, you feel good. But how did you feel about how your team played last night?
I thought we played fine. I did. I thought our rebounding was pretty good, and we certainly, they made some good one-on-one plays. But I thought for the most part our defense was decent. We got the ball where we wanted to offensively. We just turned it over. We had so many unforced errors that gave them opportunities to score, and we missed 4 or 5, basically uncontested type layups that obviously could have come back to haunt us. But I thought we did some good things. That's not an easy place to play, and the place was jacked. And certainly, I thought our guys, considering we held the lead, I think the last 37 or 38 minutes of the game, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, and then it was like a minute 41 to go. They called timeout. You guys were up, 6 or 7. People were grabbing their jackets and leaving. And then all of a sudden, it's 3. They hit a couple of threes. You miss a couple of free throws. That was one to which it almost kind of got away from you.
Well, yeah, we had they never had the ball with a chance to tie, but you're right. I think we're up 9, and I could be wrong, but they run an elevator door play, and Nas makes a long 3, and then a long 3,
yep.
And then they foul Frank, and that's our best guy to have on the line. He misses the front end, and they come down and make another hard 3, and then they foul Devontae, who would be our next best guy to have on the line, and he makes 1 of 2. So that didn't give that definitely eliminated the chance for a tie. But certainly we find a way to make it very interesting for not only ourselves but our fans and everybody that supports us.
You mentioned Devontae and Frank. Like, they're 2 incredible guards. But the way in which you're playing, I'm trying to think when the last time you played this small. I mean, you're playing 3 guards and Josh Jackson, your star freshman, at the power forward. You're spreading way out and giving guys a ton of space and a ton of freedom, and then really trying to climb into people defensively. Have you played this way? I know you played this way at Illinois some and a ton. I mean, this is your best team at Tulsa with Eric Coley at the 4 and you had great guards. Have you played this way at Kansas before?
No. Well, we played small before, but our we played 4 round 1. We did that a lot with Perry, especially his junior year. But the reality is we played with smaller teams because a lot of teams wouldn't mind having 6'10", 6'8" up front. I mean, that's not ridiculously small, but we played with smaller teams. But we've always played big with smaller teams. So you say play Coley at the 4. Well, he was 6'4.5", but we played him as a big. Now we're playing Josh or LaGerald Vick at the 4, but we're playing them as guards. So it is a different look and certainly a different style than we've ever played before.
Okay, so where do you draw, like, your offense? Like, you've always had, I mean, you've tinkered and changed some of your plays and your high-low offense. You've changed since early on, even at Kansas. But it's a different offensive style than you've played. Where in your memory bank, or who have you watched that you try to copy and go, I want to do that because we're playing differently now?
Well, I think we've stolen from other people. I thought Iowa State did an unbelievable job when they had George doing some different things. So we've watched quite a bit of tape on that, and Jay's played that way at Villanova for a long time, and we played them last year, obviously, and I've watched quite a bit of tape with them, and although it's totally different, we're doing more false motion type things to try to get the ball back into different guys' hands and spreading the floor with an open ball screen, and we're doing a lot of different things, but certainly that would be kind of our what we run behind what we run, and because I like Josh and I like LeGerald or Devontae or Frank or Svi, any of those guys being guys that utilize ball screens and just makes the defense have a few different coverages.
Bill Self joining us, head coach of the number 2 ranked Kansas Jayhawks. Doug Gottlieb Show, CBS Sports Radio. This Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS. They travel down to Austin and take on the Texas Longhorns. Frank's up for National Player of the Year discussion. Devontae obviously has had some outstanding games as well, a 1-2 combination. But, Frank was going to go to Towson, and Devontae initially signed with App State. How can the average fan figure out that these guys were recruited at such a low major level, and yet they've been able to win a couple of Big 12 championships in a row? How does that work where guys that sign at a lower level are such dominant players at the highest level of college basketball?
Well, I think in those two situations, they were probably a little bit undervalued or maybe haven't been seen quite as much, although they both play for great AAU programs. But I think the word on them, maybe something was wrong. Maybe they were too small or somebody questioned something about them. But I think that they were better talents than maybe signing at that mid-major level. But fortunately for us, neither one was for various reasons was content with the decisions and went on to prep schools, and then we were able to basically see them in their 5th year and then to see what they've done since they've been here. And I know you follow us, Doug, but there's a lot of good guards out there. I'm not saying that, but two guys that play together that certainly understand and are tough and competitive. Those guys do it about as good as anybody does.
Last week, you guys were playing Kansas State, and you won on a last-second shot by Svi Mykhailiuk, but it looked like good 3.5 steps. When you're standing there in the sideline, he got away with one, right?
Yeah, I didn't know it at the time because it did happen fast. Obviously, the officials didn't know it at the time either. But yeah, he got away with an extra step or step and a half.
Wait, he did. So you didn't at the time. You didn't turn around and go, "Wait, did he just?" Or you're just in the process of celebrating the win and going down for the handshake. You didn't think it at all.
No, I didn't know he walked. I didn't know that until I watched the replay. And I don't know how you would. I don't know how positively you would know that until you saw it. Obviously, it was something that should have been called that wasn't. Of course, and if it wasn't called, that would have put the game in overtime. But we got by with one there.
You told me a long time ago that the big fella, meaning Embiid, wait till you see him. And then I was calling. Actually, it was your last loss at home was to San Diego State. He was there. He was hurt, and he was working out, and he put on size. And you're like, you won't believe how well he shoots, how well he handles it. You've always been all in on Embiid. But to see him in such a short period of time play so well in the NBA, what's your reaction?
Well, he's basically, it doesn't surprise me that he's doing what he's doing. The only thing that would surprise me is that he's doing it after taking 2 years off. But his talent level is still, his ceiling is so much higher than what he's doing now. And I don't follow it as close as most, but, I check he and Wiggs and our other guys' box scores every day. But I think that maybe 9 games in a row he's had over 20 playing less than 30 minutes or 28 minutes, whatever it is. And if they had the restrictions off of him, I'm serious. I think he would compete for, a lot of postseason type awards. He's an amazing guy, and he's going to continue to get better and better if health allows. But the thing that's even more impressive to me than his numbers is he's got Philadelphia excited about basketball.
No question.
And certainly he's got a personality that will draw people to him and can rally a franchise and a city stuff. I think what he's doing and the goofy things that he had done in the time that he was sitting out because he is injured, and people think, what is he doing? Trying to recruit LeBron or trying to do this or trying to do that or date Rihanna or whatever. People are saying now that they actually get it because it's just kind of who he is, and he's going to be fun for that city to follow for a long time.
No, listen, he said Rihanna apparently told him, "Call me back when you're an all-star," and that's why he's trying to get people to vote for him. You got to get all the Kansas fans to vote for him so he gets a date with Rihanna.
Yeah, well, I think that he's smarter than all of us, so he will play that social media card and of course, and he'll throw Rihanna out there, which I don't blame him at all. But the bottom line is he knows he's marketing himself and helping himself along the way. And I was at the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago for the induction ceremony, and I was telling some of those ex-Hall of Famers, I said, I'm telling you what, guys, Embiid he could be sitting here, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
In this room, and no, he can't. He's not that good, and I'm like going, okay, maybe I just don't know ball, but just watch and to think where he is, and he's grown 2 more inches. He's 7'2" now, and to see how he's flying around and doing the things he's doing, the sky's the limit on this guy. What he could do.